man?
Yo, fellas, what's going on? Can you
That
hear
red's
me?
popping over there, man. That red's popping. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Can y'all hear me, man? I'm
Yeah.
struggling with my computer this morning, so I'm on the phone.
No, we're good. We can hear you. We definitely can hear you loud and clear. Congratulations on an overtime win last night, right?
Yeah, man. Thank you. Hard fought win. So it was hard to win at Dratty, Manhattan College. Real tough place to play at. We're fortunate to come out with a victory last night.
For sure, for sure. I'm gonna let Kevin kind of take it away, but you guys are 5-1. The hot start to the season was not expected. He knows a lot about this conference, so I'm gonna let him take it over for a little bit. But I'll be back. But congrats on the 5-1 start, and I'll let Kevin lead the way.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Brian before the show, and like to be 5-1 at Marist with the things that this program has been through the last 10 years or so. I mean, it is so impressive, and particularly to sweep a road series. I think that's why I really wanted to start with you, because it seems like everyone's splitting these home and home, or these one site, single weekend, 2-game in a weekend type deal. How important is it to not only sweep a series, but sweep a road series as you're jockeying for position and MAC playing? What were the challenges that went into playing a team like Manhattan twice in 2 days?
It started from the physicality standpoint. Manhattan is really physical, and to win that first night, then to drive back home that night, wake up the next morning. I think a schedule was 9:30 a.m. film on the bus by 10:15. They made it to Dratty again the second day by 12:30. It's just the emotion. We were afraid of just the emotional letdown of after winning that night and then having to repeat that the next day. And our emphasis was we don't have to win by 100. It's just get the win. Just get the win any means necessary.
And obviously, you guys added a bunch of guys, particularly in the backcourt, that have really boosted you. Obviously, I was watching your freshman point guard Hakeem Bird, and he certainly brought a lot. But between Wright, Sullivan, and Bird, it's really boosted that backcourt. Can you speak about those newcomers and what it's done for your program?
Oh, for sure. We knew we had a pretty decent. We struggled last year with the 7-win team last year, but we knew we had some pieces, and the one thing we were able to do was shoot the ball. And then we knew that we were deficient with ball handling as far as getting in the paint and being able to get guys to create off the bounce. And by adding these 3 new guys with the shooting that we already had, that was kind of the formula for success for us. We just had adding those guards and being able to get buckets that we weren't able to generate last year. And those 3 guys play well off each other, and it's been fun just seeing them grow up. Because this entire thing right now, as you know, Kev, is an accelerated process. Everyone, you're not able to teach every single detail as you would as it would be in a regular year. So these guys are just enjoying playing and getting instruction, but being able to just get out there and play and just display their talent has been a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, because there's a bunch of MAC teams shut down. My brain might be broken here, but I want to say you guys had an issue in November and paused. I mean, how were you guys able to still install what you wanted to get in before the season began, dealing with some of those shutdowns during the fall?
Yeah, you know what? It's been challenging across the entire country for a lot of programs, and us in particular. Just a quick synopsis of what has happened since we got back to school in August. We weren't able to touch a ball nor play with contact since we arrived on campus since August 23rd. The first time we actually touched the ball was the second week of October, and we were in pods. And with that, we weren't even playing with contact. So we, it's been a long journey as it relates to that. And the one thing about these guys is that they've been resilient. They just want to play. So it hasn't, as it relates to the whole pandemic, these guys just want to play. They just want to be out there. And we're fortunate enough to be out there. And as whatever institution, however every institution does their protocols as it relates to COVID, we're adhering by what our school is doing, and we accept it. And as long as everyone is safe, we'll roll with the punches, and we have been doing that.
Coach Dunn is obviously known for his defense and playing a very grinded out style. And obviously this weekend, no different. You held Manhattan to 39 points on Saturday and only 67 in an overtime game on Sunday. Talk about how you guys have been able to be so locked in on the defensive end so far.
I think Coach Dunn does an excellent job as it relates to keeping these guys engaged on both ends of the floor. Manhattan with Coach Masiello and their staff, they do a fantastic job. And to hold Manhattan to whatever we held them to this weekend, I was a little bit shocked myself, because it's just so early in the season, and we're playing defense as if when we're in mid-February right now, and it feels good. It feels good, and then also when the ball goes in a little bit, you get a little bit more energy on the other end as well. So it's a combination of both of those. But Coach is always staying locked in. Scouting report defense is the number one thing for him. One of his pet peeves is just not being able to focus the walkthrough. If you can't focus the walkthrough, then you can't play for Coach Dunn. And that's the one thing that he's constantly built, and he's instilled in all these young guys. And it's going to be, like as I said before, it's going to be an accelerated process with these young guys, because still in walkthrough, you can see some guys playing with their hair, tinkling with their fingers. It's just the focus level. But we'll get there, and then once we get there, then we'll know that we'll be on to something great.
And it seemed like Marist just needed to change the culture, and John Dunn is as blue collar a guy as I think there is in the MAC and in the Northeast and in college basketball. I mean, you watch the St. Peter's teams way back, and those teams were as tough as they come in terms of how hard they played. Do you think that being in year 3, you're finally seeing that culture kick in with your program?
Yeah, we do. Obviously building a culture, it takes time, and that's the one thing. As you see in college basketball, everyone wants instant gratification. Win tomorrow or else. But our administration at Marist College is giving Coach Dunn the free reign. Like get the job done. We won't hoover over your shoulders. We'll make sure that we'll put the people around you and the resources around you to make sure that we can get this thing done. And that's what Coach Dunn is doing. And obviously, culture is not an overnight thing. And as I stated before, and it's just getting the guys that want to win, that want to buy in, and that believe in us and the coaching staff. And I think Coach Dunn has put a lot of people in a good positions to adhere to the culture that's currently being implemented all over right now.
A little too excited. Obviously, I know you well, Coach, and been rooting for you, man. I know in this conference, there's usually a team that's picked at the top. Kevin happens to know those guys fairly well. So I'm curious what it's like for you, knowing that you guys are probably more the underdog in the conference, starting off to this 5-1 start. What has that been like for you guys?
You're a little, Coach B, you're a little choppy on that. I couldn't hear.
Kevin, can you take that?
Yeah, I think he was just saying that given you guys are, you hear all every year about Iona, with the job they've done with under Tim Cluse and now Coach Pitino, and Sienna's a perennially well-regarded program. You guys come in with that underdog mentality with the struggles you've had. How does it feel to be up where you are now at 5-1, and how could it translate moving forward? I think was the best way I could frame this question.
Yeah, no, it's all right. To be really honest with you, just I don't want to get into too much detail, but just looking at the staff we that Coach Dunn assembled, and I had a big part to do with that, is everyone on the staff is underdogs. Coach Dunn is an underdog. I've been an underdog. Coach DeLeap has been an underdog. Coach Kevin Driscoll's been an underdog. Coach Dorian Long's been an underdog. So when you're an underdog, that mentality always sticks with you. And despite being where we are now, we know what it feels like to win 7 games. I know what it feels like to go through a couple losing seasons. But then, as you're building culture, you can see the fruits of your labor by the time as you progress, if you're doing things the right way and the correct way. And I think, being 5-1, yeah, it's great, but there's a lot left to go. And just keep telling these guys and keep instilling these guys that we're not done yet, and there's still room for growth, which there is. And But I think the whole underdog thing starts with just the staff and just every day how we carry ourselves. I don't feel 5-1. I feel 1-5, to be really honest with you.
Right. Right.
Because I know what it's like to go through a 7-1 season, and in the blink of an eye, it could be gone. So, no, we're level-headed, and it's just about keeping these guys level-headed as well. And I think we do a good job with that.
Kevin, I'm not sure. Serge, can you hear me? I'm gonna have to go through Kevin again.
I got you in and out, Coach B.
That's all right. I'll go through Kevin. Kevin, we'll end with these two. Just what is it like? How do you keep those guys focused? What is the goal for the season? How do you keep those guys going when you're 5-1? And then secondly, tell us at least one funny story before you take off.
You know what, man? It's literally everything is so fickle right now. So, keeping these guys level-headed and grounded is really, you always hear take it one game at a time, but really it is one game at a time. So one test result, you're done. You're done for a while. You're shelved for a while. So literally it is one game at a time. And I think that's what we've been instilling into these guys, to just do the right thing on and off the court, and understand that it's literally one game at a time, because it's a back-to-back Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. So you're preparing 4 days, 5 days, or contingent upon the days you take off or day you take off. But it's really one day at a time, one step, one thought, one vision. And it's literally that way, because as you know, you see a lot of teams across the country getting shelved due to positive tests. So it's literally one game at a time, Kevin and Coach B. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Funny story. Sorry, I know we're going one day at a time. Now we're gonna go one funny joke at a time.
I always think back to this though, with my one funny story, Kevin. Since you're pretty much on the East Coast, and and obviously St. Peter's has been a big time place in my heart, because if it wasn't for St. Peter's, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. But the funny story I have, man, is when we took the job at Marist, I came down with Coach Dunn that day, and I walked into the locker room, going from St. Peter's locker room to Marist locker room. I literally just dropped on the floor and did a snow angel. I was like, Mama, I made it.
It's crazy, because I don't think people realize how good a job that John Dunn did at St. Peter's, and how good a job that Shaheen Holloway is doing in St. Peter's. Like, that is a difficult place to do what he has done. They deserve a ton of credit. You guys deserve a ton of credit. And Marist is a place with a lot of potential. I remember I've been to the campus a couple times, and beautiful, beautiful campus. And I think obviously the women's team has been very successful, and you guys have it on the right track. So awesome chatting with you, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, Coach B. Man, I know you've been in and out, because I don't know if it's my service or yours.
We'll blame it on the cell phone. We'll blame it on the cell phone.
Yeah, it's probably me. Just blame me. It's okay, man.
I'm kidding. Hey, you 5-1. At least if you get something wrong, we'll take that. All right, you keep winning those games. We'll worry about the cell phone later.
Nah, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you, Coach B. I love what you're doing, man, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I appreciate your time, man.
Okay, Serge.
All right, bro.
Happy holidays, man.